Hey everybody, an upload today where I'm going to try to connect a few ancient mysteries. This article just came out today on ancientorigins.net, and it is entitled The Lost Treasure of Oak Island and the Centuries-Old Quest to Find It. And it's just a really good article going about the basic history of Oak Island and this treasure quest and the strange things that have happened. And this mystery started in 1798 when some boys stumbled across a pit on the island, and the pit is shown to be very well crafted and very deep, and it has layers of timbers down every 30 feet, I believe. And this is just a really strange mystery, and it's gone on and on forever. History Channel has kind of re-sparked a lot of interest in Oak Island, and it's kind of too bad because they sometimes concentrate on the entertainment value of their broadcasts instead of some true history, but it is still a very interesting show, and they have shown some things lately that I found were very interesting, and they're trying to connect the Oak Island treasure to the Templars, and I like that theory. The Templars were very well knowledged in construction and in complicated construction, so whoever designed this pit and the channels that were built to it that flooded it, I find it very feasible that the Templars could have been responsible for that. And there is some ancient things that connects the Templars to maybe a journey to Nova Scotia. This is a book entitled The Knights Templar in the New World. I will leave the link below. It's a very interesting book. There are some interesting maps from about the 1500s, I believe, or 1400s that show Nova Scotia pretty clear, that the Templars very well could have got their hands on. But I wanted to look at this from a historical perspective that wasn't linked to some things that we really have no historical record of, such as the Templars invading Solomon's Temple in Jerusalem and stealing important artifacts. Now, there is no archaeological record of anybody named Solomon ever existing, and the pharaoh Amenhotep III, his life parallels the biblical Solomon almost exactly, and I believe the biblical Solomon, the story, was taken from the life of Amenhotep III. So instead of them raiding the temple of Solomon, if we look at it from an actual history perspective, they would have been raiding the temple of Amenhotep III, and he did build temples up in the Holy Land, what is now known as the Holy Land. And what treasures would have been from Amenhotep III? Well, Amenhotep III's father was Thutmose IV, and he was the one who uncovered the Sphinx when he found it buried, or when it was buried up to his neck. He did all the restoration work on it, and I believe he could have found some records of Atlantis. Now, that is purely speculative, but it's a possibility. And I think when you look at ancient history, we don't know so many things. People need to put out possibilities. That's the only way ancient mysteries are going to be solved. And another thing I found very interesting is how the Templars are actually connected in some theories to the mystery of the Kensington Runestone. Now, is there a possibility that when the Templars, the myth is that they raided the Temple of Solomon and stole important artifacts, could they have actually raided a temple of Amenhotep III, who we actually have a historical record of, and got their hands on some records of Atlantis or some things of that nature? That is entirely possible, I believe. And, you know, people say it's the Holy Grail or the Ark of the Covenant, and they look at this treasure as a biblical thing. And, you know, that is very, very speculative because a lot of things in the Bible were kind of made up. There is some real history in the Bible, but still, there is some things that were made up. But what could this treasure be? Well, it could be some records of Atlantis. And I think the only way that they are going to ever solve this mystery of Oak Island, I mean, people have been going at it for years now. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was there. Some Hollywood people have tried to solve it. But I think the only way that they're going to solve the problem or the mystery of Oak Island is to build what is called a cofferdam pretty much all the way around the island, or at least a major part of it, that these secret flooding chambers have, or flooding shafts have been built in. This is a cofferdam. You can actually build a cofferdam in the middle of the bay and it'll keep the water out. This is the only way this mystery is going to be solved. And it would take, you know, a lot of money, and that's the only way that this mystery is going to be solved. But the treasure, and could it be an ancient lost artifact of Atlantis? And could the Templars have been the ones responsible going all the way into Minnesota in 1362, or branches of the Templars, or somebody who was associated with the Templars, and they tried to make a land claim in Kensington, Minnesota in 1362. We have the Kensington Runestone. It's an authentic artifact, and it even talks about the Normans on the stone, or one interpretation is the Normans, and the Normans are directly associated with the Knights Templar. Okay, are we following along? So what I thought was very interesting is I wanted to take a look at Kensington, Minnesota again and see if there was an alignment to Oak Island and beyond. And I was just curious if anything fell in the United States or elsewhere that would be interesting. So I am going to just back out here and I'm going to show you what I found. This line, if you take it from Kensington, Minnesota, and take it into Nova Scotia and put it directly through Oak Island, which is right down here. Okay. This line is going directly through Oak Island. Does this line tell us anything? Well, could this be a treasure from Atlantis? And the reason why I ask that is because of the actual historical record of Solomon actually being Amenhotep III, who may have gotten his hands on some treasures or some records from Atlantis. But this line, if you keep on following it, points directly to this out in the Atlantic. This is the Seawart Seamount, and a few people have tied this in to Atlantis. Danny Wilten has done a few really good videos where he matches this up to ancient maps left by Anathias Kircher, I believe his name is. But I find that very interesting that this line from Kensington, Minnesota through Oak Island points directly to this island that has been speculated to be a main hub of Atlantis. And I will leave some links below, but this is one of Danny Wilten's videos. He matches this ancient depiction of Atlantis to this island out there, and the Kensington Runestone and Oak Island, a line, points directly to this possible location of the main hub of Atlantis. So I just thought that was very interesting. Maybe that's what's on Oak Island. Maybe it's some ancient records of Atlantis. A line from Kensington, Minnesota, where the Templars could have been, through Oak Island, where they could have hid a treasure, points directly to this possible location for Atlantis. I thought this was really cool. You have a nice day.